What's up guys, Anders here with another Black Desert video. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload my next video. Now today we're going to go over this week's Global Labs patch notes. As always, remember lab server changes usually take 2 weeks to appear on our live servers, assuming the developers are happy with the feedback given. Now this week we have some class balance buffs for PvE to a lot of classes, but mysteriously no Sage changes whatsoever, 0 changes to him this week on test server, which is strange to say the least. But if you play Ranger Awakening, Breezy Blade, Tempest, Nature's Tremble, and Regeneration all received pretty significant damage increases for PvE. Regen also getting that 30% crit rate buff in PvE as well. Now all these changes are PvE only, remember that. Tamer Succession also getting Bolt Wave, Lightning of Earth, All-Round Spinner, and Surging Tide all receiving some massive buffs. Musa's Succession had Gale, Carver, Divider, Cyclone Slash, Blind Slash all getting PvE damage increases, as well as crit rate modifiers added to them. Musa Awakening not left behind either, getting PvE damage increases to below the belt. Crust Crusher, Projection, Dash Slash, and Foul Play. Projection now also 100% crit rate in PvE. Kunoichi Awakening has Chakram Rise, Wheel of Wrath, Indignation, Moonstorm, Lethal Spin Spree, and Chain Crash all receiving some hefty buffs in PvE damage. And Half Moon Slash now has no collision on movement, and Chain Crash now has 5% crit damage increase for 10 seconds as a buff added to that skill. That's pretty nice. Dark Knight Succession has Spirit Legacy, Lunacy of Vidir, Pervasive Darkness, Wheel of Fortune, and Camasylvia Slash, all with damage increases to PvE or crit rate increases, as is the case for the last two, Wheel of Fortune and Camasylvia Slash. Now Dark Knight Awakening, Seed of Catastrophe, its Flow, Shuddering Darkness, and that Flow, and the Rabam Unveiled Fate, all receiving pretty big PvE damage increases as well. And finally, Mystic Succession has Thunder Pound, Tornado Kick, Soul Basher, all with PvE damage increases, with Rage Hammer and Roaring Tiger also getting crit rate buffs in PvE as well. Super strong to an already pretty decent grinder, I think. That's it for class balancing. I think out of the group, Tamer Succession getting deserved buffs, I think. It's arguably one of the least played and underpowered classes right now. Hopefully we see all classes get some PvE love to help with Alvia grinds, especially since that area has sort of widened the gap in grind speed for a lot of classes. Now apart from balance changes, we also received craftable Florchestra instruments. These are daily and weekly gated, so you will have to proceed with whatever instrument you want to get first, and then focus on the others later. CP connections just got easier with a new feature that allows you to sort of Google map your connections. You tell the map where your point of origin is and where you need to go, and what you need to connect will be highlighted for the cheapest CP route. If you have value pack running and you have enough energy, you're also able to instantly connect all nodes highlighted. Really good change and works fairly well from testing. Star's End is also getting another zone revamp, this time with the addition of Black Star Flames that will appear in certain areas of the grind zone. These flames will work very similar to the Trader's Cemetery or Betrayer's Graveyard. I forget what they're calling it these days. A horde of monsters attacking the flame. It's up to you to defeat as many of those monsters as you can before the flame dies. Probably is going to work more like the Thornwood event boss in practice. The monsters that spawn for the horde waves will be a little bit stronger than the normal ones, so keep that in mind. I tried going to the Star's End zone on test server, but didn't see anything different. I'll check back with you guys once I know more on that change. And finally, we have more Node War revamp news. Currently, the new format is out in Korea as a sort of beta test, and the developers have received a lot of feedback. So firstly, they're taking away base nodes as an idea, and they will lower the amount of nodes available for warring by 30%. They saw an increase of people participating in Node Wars, but a decrease of guilds joining the fight, so this is the cause of the changes. The developers are now also focusing on introducing an ultimate buff meter that fills as the fight progresses. You can then use this ultimate buff to give you a powerful guild buff to fight back or overtake your opponent, and after a Node War victory, you will also have the option to forego payment in exchange for some points that you can then use for week-long guild buffs like item drop rate increases in Calphion areas or Serendia areas. Siege victors and castle holders will now have some form of Node War capability in the future, so the details are kind of sparse, but at the very least we know that is on the agenda. If you own a castle, you will in the future be able to do Node Wars in some sort of capacity. Unfortunately, the fact that these changes are coming to Korea in 2 to 3 weeks or longer, it means that the rest of the regions will have to wait a while before we get whatever finalized version of the Node War revamp the developers settle on. And that's pretty much it for this one, guys. What do you guys think about the class buffs for this week? How do you feel about the Node War changes? Let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.